Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here on Thursday Night SmackDown for the MVP Arena in Albany, and a brawl has broken out in the backstage area and has spilled out here to the arena between the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and Big Bronson Reed. We remember it was just about 2 weeks ago at Money in the Bank that Cody Rhodes re-emerged after being put on the shelf with that shoulder contusion and cost Bronson Reed the world's title against Ilja Dragunov. Last week, Cody Rhodes threw out the challenge for Bronson Reed to meet him at SummerSlam, told Reed he could pick the stipulation as long as Reed showed up in Cleveland on the 24th. Well, now these two men coming to blows. First time they're getting their hands on each other since Montreal at Money in the Bank. There is a lot of bad blood between the American Nightmare and the Auszilla dating back several months here on SmackDown, and it was bound to come to this. Now the fight getting taken out into the concrete amongst the WWE Universe. A dangerous situation here for both of these SmackDown superstars. This is not how we plan to kick off tonight's event, but on the road to SummerSlam, tensions are at an all-time high. Cody wants to get his hands on the man who put him on the shelf for about a month's time. Now Bronson Reed with his own motivation. Cody Rhodes cost him his opportunity to become world champion at Money in the Bank. Bronson Reed out to make a name for himself, out to become a main event player here on SmackDown, while the American Nightmare is currently standing in his way. The fight continues in the middle of the MVP Arena in Albany. Referee Chad Patton following these superstars around, but I think you're going to need a hell of a lot more than him to separate these two individuals. Might need to clear the locker room to get the Auszilla away from the American Nightmare. Action started off hot and heavy here on SmackDown as the brawl has ensued between Reed and Cody. The fight now getting taken down to ringside, luckily away from our audience here in Albany, New York, but this is going to be disastrous for one of these two superstars as Cody Rhodes gets sent to the announce table and sent right to the Prime Hydration Station. Oh no. Well, things may be going from bad to worse for Cody. Reed with the steel steps right to the Cody Rhodes. Cody down and Reed like a shark that smells blood in the water. Reed put Cody Rhodes on the shelf for several weeks with a shoulder contusion. First an attack back at Beach Blast in June. Follow that up with their matchup on the SmackDown later. Cody Rhodes was beaten, broken, and dismantled by Big Bronson Reed. Cody's come back for retribution, but now Reed has got his own motivation. Oh my goodness! Just chucking those steel steps right at Cody Rhodes, and Cody may be out cold. I don't like this. I don't know who started this fight in the backstage area, but Big Bronson Reed may be on the verge of finishing it. Oh my God. Cody's down in the ring. Reed going up top. Tsunami! Absolute chaos and anarchy to kick things off here on Thursday Night SmackDown. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are live tonight for the MVP Arena, sold out in Albany, New York for Thursday Night SmackDown. Tension at an all-time high, just a couple of weeks away from SummerSlam. And here tonight on SmackDown, Mr. Money in the Bank, the Judgment Day's Finn Balor, set for a one-on-one meeting against the young OG Javon Evans. Evans scored the pinfall victory over Dirty Dom in a tag team matchup last Thursday night. Balor looks to take care of Evans once and for all. And speaking of tag team action, live tonight on SmackDown, the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan joins forces with Raquel Rodriguez to take on the Kabuki Warriors, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, and returning to action, the Women's World Champion, Io Sky. That's right, here tonight, live in Albany. And ever since May 31st, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus have been at the top of the tag team division on SmackDown as its champions. Well, clearly the confidence of the champions at an all-time high. Not only are they choosing their opponents tonight, but they are allowing the tag team championship to be on the line.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
We want to take you back to 2 weeks ago, right here on Thursday Night SmackDown. McIntyre and Sheamus putting the gold on the line against summer-long rivals and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate of New Catch Republic. An incredible bout, New Catch Republic putting up a fight. McIntyre and Sheamus retaining their titles nonetheless. But the action continuing after the second bell, the beatdown would continue on New Catch Republic. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate have been humiliated time and time again by Sheamus and McIntyre. And a couple of weeks ago, the tag team champions just adding insult to injury. Well, McIntyre and Sheamus riding a high off that successful tag team title defense. They have turned away Fraxiom, not just back on May 31st at Clash at the Castle when they won the gold, but a couple of weeks later right here on SmackDown in a rematch. McIntyre and Sheamus on top of the tag team division. The question is tonight, why are they so confident? Who have they chosen as their opponents? And it's very shocking in my estimation that they have agreed to put the WWE Tag Team titles on the line. Well, nonetheless, before we find out who will be tonight's challengers, live from Albany, New York, we need our champions. We got the Scottish Warrior. What about the Celtic Warrior?
And his partner from Dublin, Ireland, weighing in at 267 pounds, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus!
Well, McIntyre and Sheamus, you remember a couple of months ago, were called out by Fraxiom. They didn't even approach the tag team division on their own. Fraxiom's the one who threw down the challenge. McIntyre and Sheamus made the most of it, and they have thrived as the champions ever since. Well, the question is now, who are tonight's challengers for those very WWE Tag Team titles that are around the waist of Sheamus and his tag team partner and longtime friend in Drew McIntyre? We're going to find out right here, right now. Oh, wait a minute here. Haven't heard this theme song in a while. Okay.
And accompanied by Maxine Dupree at a combined weight of 486 pounds, Otis and Akira Tozawa, the Alpha Academy.
Well, it's been quite some time since we've seen Otis and Maxine Dupree here on SmackDown. And evidently Akira Tozawa has now joined their ranks. Well, remember Chad Gable used to lead Alpha Academy, but it was around this time last year Gable started to distance himself from the group, trying to go down a path of his own, and Otis and Tozawa? I mean, no disrespect to them as talents, but since when are they involved in the tag team division here on SmackDown? You know what? This is starting to feel like a big old game by McIntyre and Sheamus. Maybe an ego stroke, if you want to call it that. You got a tag team division full of great duos, Fraxiom, New Catch Republic, the Motor City Machine Guns, Gallus, Pretty Deadly, etc. And I mean no disrespect to Tozawa and Otis as singles competitors, but what do they have, business-wise, doing here in a tag team championship matchup? Well, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, the tag team titles are on the line. McIntyre and Sheamus, they picked their opponents tonight, and evidently the Alpha Academy is back here on SmackDown, and they have a completely different coat of paint, to say the least. Remember, Maxine Dupree was one of the star pupils of Chad Gable and really didn't see much of anything in terms of action here on SmackDown, because it was shortly after her arrival that Gable said, "I've had enough of this," and started focusing on himself. Well, evidently they've recruited former Cruiserweight champion Akira Tozawa, and it looks like the Alpha Academy is back and starting from ground zero. Well, let's try not to write them off here. Maybe they can surprise us and take down McIntyre and Sheamus tonight. Otis is a big dude in there. McIntyre is as well. If anything, Akira Tozawa, the mismatch in this contest. If and when Tozawa is able to get in here, he's going to have to truly rely on his speed and agility to try to get around Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Still very interesting to me that Sheamus and McIntyre putting their belts on the line tonight.
Are you not entertained?
All the while choosing their own tag team opponents. Something about this just feels fishy, or really just feels like an ego stroke by McIntyre and Sheamus. So confident as a team, coming together in recent months, winning the tag team championship. And it's almost as if they're just trying to assert their dominance and push the division around. Well, there you see Otis now, able to sidestep that shoulder block by the Celtic Warrior, and now has got him down out of the corner. Tag made to a former Cruiserweight champion and Akira Tozawa. Tozawa comes in. That was like a bro kick of his own. Tozawa's got to strike fast and strike hard. I'll tell you what, if this new foundation, if this new coat of paint of the Alpha Academy is somehow successful tonight, I don't know what I'm going to say. It's going to be the upset of the century. Tozawa off the head scissors takedown. He's about a second away there from having new tag team champions. We saw New Catch Republic fall short 2 weeks ago. We've seen Axiom and Nathan Frazier come up short not once but twice to Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. That tells us anything, it's that Sheamus and McIntyre aren't going to be an easy puzzle to figure out. Tozawa and Otis being rewarded this opportunity, for lack of a better term. I don't know if they're going to be able to make the most of it, or if they're just going to be chopped liver for McIntyre and Sheamus. We're going to find out. Tag made to a man who at some point in 2025 already was a World Heavyweight Champion here on SmackDown. Destructive as they come, one half of the tag team champions in Drew McIntyre. Just look at this mismatch. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the ego stroke. This is McIntyre and Sheamus pushing their weight around. You know, we thought we were going to be out for a competitive tag team matchup tonight, and one of the more fruitful teams in the division was going to be getting a shot at the gold, but obviously McIntyre and Sheamus making a laughing stock of all those teams. And again, I mean no disrespect to Otis and Tozawa, but they got no business in the tag team division, at least right now. Otis tagged in. Oh man, look at that! Just sent Drew McIntyre for an amusement park ride. McIntyre might think he's down in Manhattan. Well, we're at Albany tonight, and McIntyre just went from north to south off that power slam by Otis. Into the cover by the big man. Man, this place is going to erupt if Alpha Academy can somehow, some way, upset the tag team champions here tonight. McIntyre not looking to allow that. They got their Otis, just threw him around a little bit. McIntyre starting to actually click into a more serious gear, and now is starting to beat down the big man. You know, I'm always the first one to say you can never underestimate your opponent, and McIntyre and Sheamus might have come into this thing completely blowing off the two men that they've chosen. Oh no, now McIntyre taking a page out of Sheamus's book. The 10 beats, and down goes Tozawa. That left him open for Otis. Otis from behind. McIntyre shoves him off, and it's a Glasgow kiss. And look at him, just standing over the body of Otis. He's not even going for the cover just yet. This is how confident the tag team champions are. Oh, where's he going? Tozawa's already down the outside. And McIntyre just throwing him into the steps. Otis back on his feet. McIntyre, don't play with your food. Otis takes down Drew, able to survive that Glasgow kiss, which could have been a finish of this contest had McIntyre just gone for the damn cover. Tag team titles are on the line, ladies and gentlemen. This new version of Alpha Academy stepping up, and with a Claymore kick, McIntyre might have just put this thing to bed. Academic from here, you can count to 20. McIntyre and Sheamus retain the gold.
Here are your winners, and still WWE Tag Team Champions, the team of Drew McIntyre and the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
Well, Otis and Tozawa gave it their all, but McIntyre and Sheamus with an ego stroke tonight. That's the whole reason they decided to choose their challengers. That's the whole reason they elected to put the tag team titles on the line, to push their weight around and prove their dominance against the rest of the SmackDown tag team division. Oh, wait a minute here. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, New Catch Republic hitting the ring. Trying to get some retribution after Sheamus and McIntyre had an insult to injury a couple of weeks ago. We gotta restore some order here on SmackDown. But ladies and gentlemen, still to come tonight, for the first time since Money in the Bank, the World Heavyweight Champion Ilja Dragunov is here. He's live, and he addresses his SummerSlam opponent and the King of the Ring, AJ Styles. That's coming up right here tonight on SmackDown. But from one world champion to another, Io Sky is back in action.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, representing the Kabuki Warriors from Tokyo, Japan, the WWE Women's World Champion, Io Sky.
For the first time in over a month, the Women's World Champion Io Sky is back in action. A huge tag team matchup, and it's going down right here on SmackDown. Welcome to SummerSlam.
I have to make a choice. Think down even further. Drowning out my voice. If you're feeling lost, sing this song with me. It will shine a light. I hope that you can say, slide away, carry me, take me.
We're back live on Thursday Night SmackDown from a Capacity MVP Arena in Albany, New York. The Judgment Day's Liv Morgan set to align with Raquel Rodriguez for this massive tag team bout. The new attitude of Raquel hopes to take her to new heights.
And from Rio Grande Valley, Texas, Raquel Rodriguez.
Raquel Rodriguez is already a former two-time Women's World Champion, but she is hell-bent on winning it for a third time. It was back at WrestleMania in March that Iyo Sky took down Raquel Rodriguez to win the Women's World Championship. An incredible matchup on that night. Raquel had nothing, absolutely nothing to be ashamed of in defeat. But Raquel would disappear. We did not see her for months on end here on SmackDown, only for her to re-emerge on the final SmackDown before King and Queen of the Ring last month, ambushing Iyo Sky, dropping her with not one, not two, but three emphatic Tejana bombs. Raquel Rodriguez has said her piece. She is hell-bent on tearing through the competition, canceling out the noise of the WWE Universe, and focusing on one so ever important goal, and that is becoming a three-time Women's World Champion at the expense of that woman, Iyo Sky. Well, Iyo Sky looking to get her hands on Raquel tonight after she re-emerged last week and targeted Raquel inside of that squared circle. Liv Morgan with some history with the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka as of late, and even has her own individual history challenging Iyo Sky for the Women's World title. Back in April at Backlash, Iyo Sky ever aggressive starting out this matchup hot. Oh, looking to get her hands on Raquel. Raquel just shoving the Women's World Champion down. Look out for Iyo. Springboard crossbody to the outside. Iyo Sky wants to get her hands on Raquel Rodriguez. Unfortunately, that left the Genius of the Sky wide open to the attack of the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan. Iyo Sky, however, so focused on redemption tonight as she takes down Liv with the Meteora. Iyo has defeated Liv in the past. I'm sure she's got no problem trying to do it en route again, trying to get her hands on Raquel. Women's World Champion Iyo Sky sidelined for several weeks by Raquel Rodriguez. The first time she is in action since the July 5th episode of SmackDown. And there's Liv Morgan taking her down with a drop kick. And there's the tag to Raquel Rodriguez. And Raquel now going after Iyo Sky. I'm sure Iyo technically very happy to get in the ring with Raquel, but not at this cost. Raquel Rodriguez just trying to powerfully throw her around inside of that ring. So it's a world sidewalk slam. The Women's World Champion being reminded what it is like to be in the ring with this new version, an ever aggressive, ever bad attitude version of Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez, already a former two-time women's champion, former tag team champion as well. Raquel feels that Iyo Sky is standing in her way to the top of SmackDown again. Oh my goodness, look at Iyo taking a page out of her Kabuki Warrior sister Kairi Sane's book with that spear that time. Io's been waiting for this for the last 5 weeks or so here on SmackDown, trying to get her hands on Raquel. But Raquel Rodriguez not looking to allow it, and there's Iyo Sky just getting taken down again. There's a tag made to Liv. Looks like Liv and Raquel working like a well-oiled machine tonight. A loose partnership being formed as of late between those two women as they've had each other's back against the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Whether they've even meant to or not, might have just been more of a sticking it to Asuka more than helping each other out. But regardless of the fact, Asuka's got a bone to pick with both of these women, and she's looking to do so tonight in Albany. Asuka got in the face of Raquel Rodriguez a couple of weeks after Raquel's return here on SmackDown. Beautiful German into the bridge. Looking for the victory, not just yet. Asuka, of course, met Liv Morgan one-on-one here on SmackDown in the Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. And thanks to that showdown a week prior between Asuka and Raquel was kind of ticked off and distracted Asuka during said Money in the Bank qualifier, assisting Liv Morgan in victory on that night. Asuka and Raquel set to go one-on-one, and wait a minute, hold that thought. Liv's now stacking Asuka up, looking to steal a victory, not just yet. But Asuka and Raquel obviously had the bone to pick with each other. They went one-on-one last week on SmackDown, and Liv Morgan returned the favor from that Money in the Bank qualifying matchup, distracting Asuka and assisting Raquel in her victory. And now they're side by side tonight in this tag team bout against a woman they have screwed over now in Asuka, and of course the Women's World Champion Io Sky. Raquel, by hook or by crook, is hot off the heels of a victory over the Empress of Tomorrow, and I'm sure she's not looking to see her momentum go up in smoke just yet. Raquel said a week after she ambushed Io Sky, return to SmackDown. Raquel Rodriguez said very loud and clear she would be waiting for the return of the Genius of the Sky so that Raquel can put her down once and for all and become a 3-time Women's World Champion. Raquel already scored a victory over Asuka last week. If Raquel and Liv are victorious here, I don't think there's any questioning that Raquel has firmly solidified herself as the #1 contender. On the other side of that coin, however, I don't think Io Sky would mind giving Raquel an opportunity at the championship, just as she can get her hands on Raquel and trying to shut her up once and for all. I'll tell you, we saw it last week. We're seeing it again tonight. Raquel has clearly gotten more aggressive inside of that ring and is showing absolutely no remorse. And you gotta believe this thing would have been over off that swinging neck breaker if it weren't for Io Sky. But there's Raquel not hesitating to put her hands on the Women's World Champion. Oh, just collapsing with the buckles is Io. Look at Raquel. Takes out Io, now focusing on Asuka. Oh, but that might have left her wide open as Asuka got a moment of R&R, and now there's the hip attack. Could be victory here, but there's Liv Morgan now breaking things up. Oh, Asuka's not going to stand for that. Ain't no love lost between all these women here on SmackDown. Raquel trying to sneak up on the Empress. Asuka says otherwise, takes down Raquel. And once again, the tag made to the Women's World Champion Io Sky, who has got a bone to pick with Raquel, and history going back all the way to WrestleMania. And Io coming in, doing what she does best, leaving the soles of her boots on the offense. Io Sky would love nothing more than to pin the shoulders of Raquel Rodriguez tonight and send her to the back of the line. I don't think anything would be more authoritative this side of Raquel Rodriguez than that. What a meteora off the middle rope. And a close call here. Io Sky has pinned those shoulders of Raquel before on the grandest stage, but unfortunately tonight, not so much. Raquel Rodriguez now creating some distance and once again just levels Io Sky. Nothing fancy about it, nothing pretty about it, but just effective, and that sets Io Sky up for a code breaker by the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan. And Asuka now the one breaking things up. Another Judgment Day representative in Mr. Money in the Bank, Finn Balor, looks to take care of one of many Judgment Day challengers. And the young OG Javon Evans, that's still to come later tonight here in Albany on SmackDown. Liv Morgan right now all over a woman she's got history with in Io Sky. Better keep her eye on the ball here because Io Sky sending her right into enemy territory, and a drop kick is gonna level Liv. And a tag made to Asuka. Io Sky gonna set up the Empress of Tomorrow, hopefully to tap out Liv Morgan, just like Asuka I'm sure would have loved to do back in their Money in the Bank qualifying bout. Asuka coming in, series of strikes. There's a reversal by Liv, however. That takes her down face first. Can't underestimate Liv Morgan, former champion in her own right, just like the rest of these women have been. Oh, wait a minute here. Raquel Rodriguez going after Io. Liv Morgan takes out Io. They're brawling away at ringside all the while. Liv delivers the oblivion to the Empress of Tomorrow. And that's going to be a victory for Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Here are your winners, the team of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Well, Raquel Rodriguez continues to be victorious in her pursuit of trying to become a 3-time Women's World Champion. All the while, Liv Morgan just continues to be a thorn in the side of the entirety of the Kabuki Warriors. Well, like it or not, that is a huge victory for Liv and Raquel. We want to take you back to what kicked this off earlier tonight here inside the MVP Arena. The brawl between the Auszilla Bronson Reed and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes stated last week upon his return to Thursday Night SmackDown that he wanted to see Bronson Reed one-on-one at SummerSlam. He was ready to fight Reed last week, but Reed was not in the building 7 nights ago. Well, Bronson Reed was here tonight in Albany. He laid out Cody Rhodes, and it seems as if Reed has taken Cody up on his offer to choose the stipulation for SummerSlam. Bronson Reed will indeed go one-on-one with Cody Rhodes. It's gonna be an ambulance match. Reed, this is a direct quote, said he has sent Cody Rhodes home in an ambulance before, and he plans to do it again in SummerSlam. Bronson Reed one-on-one with Cody August 24th in an ambulance match. Well, the road to SummerSlam has been off the charts already, and it rolls into Bridgeport this Saturday for Saturday night's main event. A week from Saturday, Backstage Pass Channel members will be in Baltimore for Great Balls of Fire. The biggest party of the summer is gonna see some fireworks. Sunday night, August 24th in Cleveland. Cannot wait to get to SummerSlam. But we only know one way to keep on keeping on. Down the road to the biggest party of the summer, and that's with action. It's gonna commence right here, right now, on Thursday Night SmackDown.
And reporting from Tokyo, Japan, Giulia.
The beautiful madness, Giulia, back in action tonight. After unfortunately coming up short less than 2 weeks ago in Montreal in the Money in the Bank ladder matchup. But win, lose, or draw, Giulia has made waves since her arrival in the blue brand back in June. Made it to the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament, qualified for Money in the Bank. And although some of those matches did not go the way the beautiful madness would have hoped, Giulia gonna keep moving forward here on SmackDown. Oh, wait a minute, Zoey Stark ambushing Giulia before the bell can sound here at Albany. Well, Zoey already down at ringside, as we saw, accompanied by her tag team partner and mentor at times in Shayna Baszler. Zoey Stark looking to take the fight to the beautiful madness early here, trying to get the edge over a woman who has had a lot of hype around her as of late on SmackDown. Well, Zoey Stark, oh man! Former women's tag team champion alongside Shayna Baszler, but it's been quite some time since Baszler and Stark has seen great success here on the blue brand. Zoey obviously realizing that Giulia's had a lot of pomp and circumstances around her as of late, a spotlight on the beautiful madness from the land of the rising sun. Zoey Stark looking to take out Giulia tonight and steal away some of that spotlight, steal away possibly some future opportunities from Giulia. I'll tell you what, this keeps up. It may be a long night for Giulia, or maybe not. Giulia hasn't even gotten her ring coat off yet, but I don't think she gives a damn. She knows one thing, and that's how to fight inside of that ring. Giulia doesn't give a damn if she's got a second to breathe or not. Zoey Stark wants a battle. Giulia's gonna give her a war, and oh, there's a pump kick by Stark. But he just implanted that mask right into the flesh of Giulia. Both these women trying to find a new path here on SmackDown. Zoey Stark just trying to rally some much-needed momentum for herself and Baszler. For Giulia, it is about bouncing back after two big major PLE losses. First at King and Queen of the Ring, and of course in the Money in the Bank ladder matchup. Zoey Stark all over Giulia here, and whether you like it or not, the game plan of jumping Stark before the bell, should say jumping Giulia before the bell, is obviously working out. Maybe we spoke too soon. Giulia creates some distance, and there's a kick of her own. Stark giving Giulia her best, but she has found it out firsthand why the beautiful madness in just about a year here in WWE, whether it's been on NXT or on SmackDown, has quickly found success. Giulia already a former NXT Women's Champion. We're going to become a champion here on SmackDown as well. Zoey Stark may just be another woman who stands in the beautiful Madness way. Giulia has turned away the likes of Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Liv Morgan. Looking to add Zoey Stark to that list of victims since her arrival here on the blue brand. Boot scrape, nothing fancy about it. It is just nasty in the corner. Paintbrush in the face of Zoey Stark. Giulia now going behind, look to be going for the belly to back. Zoey able to put the brakes on, have some kind of cement feet, gets back down. High octane elbow, and she's able to knock Giulia down into the moonsault. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Zoey Stark, although has not found the success she would have been liked as of late here on SmackDown. An incredible talent with a bright future. Competed in the Elimination Chamber matchup earlier this year, one that she qualified for by defeating her tag team partner in Shayna Baszler. Zoey Stark now headed out to the apron, obviously with disaster afoot. Missile drop kick, the sniper hits her mark. And it's another kick out by Giulia here. Zoey Stark, not only did she jump Giulia before the bell, but she has gone for a lot of covers in the last couple of minutes, none of them going her way. There's a reversal there. Giulia caught the boot. Just when you think Zoey Stark is in full control, the beautiful Madness just continues to be resilient. And now, missile drop kick of her own off the middle buckle. Ever impressive is Giulia. Zoey Stark may be about to get caught. Around and around we go! Shayna Baszler forced to watch it ringside as her protege gets ripped apart. The beautiful Madness Giulia seems to be in the driver's seat. Oh no, grab it all. Hold, looking for an Arrivederci. Zoey might have got the jump, but Giulia got the last laugh here on SmackDown.
Here is your winner, Giulia.
Well, we've seen Giulia suffer some big-time losses, but 2 times in a row she has bounced back in flying colors. A bright future ahead of her here on SmackDown, just as there is for the young OG, Javon Evans. He's already a former Cruiserweight champion, and he continues to be a thorn in the side of the Judgment Day. Finn Balor looks to take care of Javon later tonight, one-on-one on SmackDown. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. Well, we can officially confirm coming up on Sunday night, August the 24th, we will witness the WrestleMania rematch as Raquel Rodriguez looks to win back the Women's World Championship from the Genius of the Sky, Io Sky. Io versus Raquel at SummerSlam. We are back inside the MVP Arena here in Albany, and we are set for a tag team bout. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, veterans of this industry, but newcomers to SmackDown. They're 2-0 thus far. Can they turn away the former WWE Tag Team Champions in Fraxiom? For the Motor City Machine Guns, it is about keeping their momentum strong. But for Fraxiom, it's about turning their momentum all the way around. This should be an exciting bout here on SmackDown.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 336 pounds, Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Fraxiom!
Well, we talked about it earlier tonight, the recent whereabouts of Nathan Frazier and Axiom, of course, losing the WWE Tag Team Championship back in May, as well as their rematch a couple of weeks later to McIntyre and Sheamus. As a matter of fact, both Axiom and Nathan Frazier individually accepted open challenges from Javon Evans in recent months, or recent weeks we shall say, for the Cruiserweight Championship. Neither of those contests going the way of Fraxiom either. Fraxiom really at a point where there's nothing to lose and everything to gain. Going up against the veterans and Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin here. They're looking for the victory. Nathan Frazier here. Looking to score it in a quick fashion, but I think it's going to take a hell of a lot more to keep down Sabin and Shelley of the Motor City Machine Guns. And there's Shelley now, stacking up Nathan Frazier as well. Both these men going for the early victory, may just be trying to play mind games with one another. Two of the exciting teams in a very deep division here on SmackDown. Former champions versus a set of former champions across various other promotions in the Motor City Machine Guns. Nathan Frazier and Axiom just trying to find a new path to travel down here on SmackDown, turn their luck around, and what a way to do so if they could upset the Motor City Machine Guns tonight. Frazier up top early, going for the kill, moonsault off the top to Alex Shelley. It's going to be a kick out that time, but Frazier nearly putting this matchup away not once but twice already. Maybe a sense of urgency out of Nathan Frazier tonight. Fraxiom may be getting a little bit desperate to try to turn their luck around here on SmackDown. There's so many big-time losses in recent months. They're just trying to put pedal to the metal, dictate the pace of this matchup, and hopefully find themselves with their hands raised high. Shooting star press by Axiom, moments removed from the tandem offense. Alex Shelley again able to survive. Fraxiom just pushing the pace here. Now out of the corner, here comes Axiom. Former WWE Tag Team Champions who held the gold from the Royal Rumble to Clash at the Castle. Looking to find success all over again in the Tag Team division here on SmackDown. One of SmackDown's newest teams, however, the Motor City Machine Guns standing in their way tonight. Sully and Sabin have already turned away. The Latino World Order, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde also turned away pretty deadly in recent weeks since their arrival on SmackDown. Dare I say their biggest test to date. And former Tag Team Champions, Alex Shelley surviving thus far, now starting to thrive as he takes the momentum back for a very driven Fraxiom, to say the least, tonight. There's a tag made to Chris Sabin. Both of these men not only decorated tag team champions around the globe, but former TNA World Champions. Sabin and Shelley know what it's like to be in the spotlight, hold championship gold on their own and together. That is what Axiom and Nathan Frazier are trying to rediscover here on SmackDown. Sabin coming in, Axiom looking to turn his momentum away, but Chris Sabin with other plans. Crucifix bomb into the pinfall. And another close call that time. Chris Sabin looking for the 3 count, not to be found. Axiom able to create some distance, full head of steam. Now he takes Chris Sabin off his feet, shoulders on the canvas, but only for 2. Similar to what we saw by Frazier and Shelley when this match sounded off here in Albany, but now it's Sabin and Axiom going at it, and Chris Sabin, miniature power bomb, and jumps up into the elbow. And we have seen some creative offense by Motor City Machine Guns here on SmackDown. It is what is going to make them a tough task for every team in this division. Got 2 great tandems here in Fraxiom and the Motor City Machine Guns going at it. What about what we saw earlier tonight? McIntyre and Sheamus turning away the new foundation, to say the least, of the Alpha Academy, and then of course New Catch Republic arriving on the scene, going after the men who added insult to injury after their tag team victory 2 weeks ago. A lot of underlining stories here in the SmackDown Tag Team division. Several teams looking for their opportunity. Tag made to Shelley, yet it's Sabin up top. Incredible tandem offense by the Guns. And Axiom able to kick out. Shelley had Axiom trapped. Sabin with the missile drop kick, face first on the canvas. Goes the opponent. Unfortunately for the Machine Guns, no 3 count to be had, and now it's Axiom trying to rally here. Again, that sense of urgency that may be overtaking Fraxiom. Very aggressive off the opening bell in this matchup, and now they're trying to find their way back into the driver's seat. Shelly just collapsing with the buckles that time. Frazier giving it all he had. Nathan Frazier and Axiom live by the mantra of never slow down. It's what brought them to the promised land. It's what brought them to the dance, and they're hoping it's what's going to bring them back to the top. Great missile drop kick by Frazier. Will it be enough, however, to keep down Alex Shelley? Shelley now with the reversal. Now Shelley, high-octane bulldog, dead center of the ring. It'll rearrange the facial features of a former tag team champion. Discus kick, and now into the sliced bread maneuver. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Nearly a 3 count here in Albany, New York. Man, what a great night of action it has been here on Thursday Night SmackDown. Saturday night's main event approaching in just 48 hours. SummerSlam in a couple of weeks' time. Hell of a month of August already, as was promised. Tag made to Sabin. Machine Guns back in control. Nathan Frazier and Axiom just gotta find a way to get back into this matchup and gotta find a way to get their momentum turned around overall here on SmackDown. Maybe it's time that a team that never slows down starts to add some new tricks to the trade to their arsenal. Something to throw their opponents off their game, opposed to just the high-octane, high-flying maneuvers. It's one of the things that made Sabin and Shelley so successful. They know how to fly around this ring. We've seen it already. But they also know how to get technical. They also know how to brawl. Sabin and Shelley, very well-rounded competitors, as Nathan Frazier and Axiom are still evolving throughout their careers. Oh, look at this. Speaking of the high-flying offense, we never said it couldn't be effective. There's the suicide dive to the outside. Chris Sabin rolled out there maybe to get some R&R, but he ought to know that Nathan Frazier was going to be in hot pursuit. Now back inside the ring. A springboard drop kick by Frazier. Does Fraxiom have a hope and a prayer, have another way to get back into this matchup, and maybe secure a much-needed 3 count? Sabin on top. Springboard Frankensteiner. Sabin taken out. Nathan Frazier just continuing to push pedal to the metal here. Frog splash. And it's not over yet. You see Alex Shelley even trying to get in there and break things up. Luckily, Sabin popping that shoulder at 2.9. Nathan Frazier just not letting up for a moment there. Maneuver after maneuver. Now a tag made to Axiom, who tries to bring some fresh ideas into this contest. Hit Nelson German. Sabin looking up at the lights of the MVP arena, and it's not over yet. Man, oh man, the resilience by Chris Sabin. The effort by Fraxiom. And there's a reversal by Sabin that time. Maybe it's now the Motor City Machine Guns feeling a sense of urgency after all that offense was dished out by the former tag team champions. Sabin just cradling Axiom up. And it's another near fall. And what has been a hell of an exciting tag team matchup thus far. Former champs versus a team who aspires to be champions here on SmackDown. Alex Shelley now tagged in, full head of steam. Around and around he goes with the tilt-a-whirl, head scissors. Axiom now in a precarious spot. Motor City Machine Guns, former TNA World Tag Team Champions, with their ultimate goal to win the WWE Tag Team titles here on Thursday nights. They've got Axiom in the corner right now, backed up against the wall. Axiom's fighting out. Now it's Alex Shelley. Up against the buckles, hoisted on top. Axiom now looks to be the one to deliver a springboard Frankensteiner of his own. And now he goes up top. Alex Shelley on a wobbly foundation here. Another Hurricanrana stacks him up into the pinfall. And it's not over yet. Shelley able to pop the shoulders at 2. And an overhead kick gets Axiom off his back for a moment. Man, all four of these individuals have survived a hell of a lot of punishment in this contest thus far. Now Shelly, wiping out Axiom. And you gotta believe this thing would have been over if Nathan Frazier wasn't still on the soles of his boots. Alex Shelley now, thinking what the hell is they gonna have to do to keep down Fraxiom? No doubt the toughest challenge that the Machine Guns have faced since arriving here on Thursday Night SmackDown. Another tag made to Chris Sabin, who brings the fight to Axiom alongside his tag team partner. Motor City Machine Guns may have Fraxiom's back against the wall. Sabin, oh man, look at that basement drop kick. Taking Frazier off the apron, trying to ensure he won't be in interference again. Oh man, a little skull and bones by the Machine Guns. Think Chris Sabin got caught up in it a little bit, but it works out either way. A resilient effort by Motor City.
Here are your winners, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns.
Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley just continue to thrive since arriving here on SmackDown. We may be looking at future WWE Tag Team Champions. Well, from a pair of TNA wrestling legends to another. Coming up at SummerSlam, the 2025 King of the Ring, the phenomenal AJ Styles is set for a bout against the Czar, the Mad Dragon, Ilja Dragunov for the World Heavyweight Championship. A dream match to many. These two titans are set to clash on the 24th in Cleveland at the biggest party of the summer. And for the first time since retaining his championship in Montreal at Money in the Bank, the man is here. The Czar is in the house. The reigning, defending World Heavyweight Champion, Ilja Dragunov, back here on SmackDown. Obviously an assistance from the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes in that no countouts, no disqualifications clash against Bronson Reed at Money in the Bank. But that does not take away what Ilja Dragunov has done in 2025, winning the Royal Rumble, main eventing WrestleMania, and winning the World Championship on that night. Defeating Cody Rhodes at Backlash, Finn Balor at Clash at the Castle, Balor as well as Jey Uso back at King and Queen of the Ring, Bronson Reed at Money in the Bank. Will AJ Styles be next on the list of the Mad Dragon? We're going to find out in a couple of weeks' time when they meet for the championship at the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. Oh, man. Well, I'm sure Ilja Dragunov was expecting this. It may be the year of the dragon, but we're hot off the heels of a king being crowned. And at SummerSlam, said king is set to clash with the Czar. Ilja Dragunov ever confident, as he deserves to be after the year he's had. But the phenomenal AJ Styles has an argument that he will leave SummerSlam as the World Heavyweight Champion. Well, things are getting tense on the road to SummerSlam. What happens when two of the best at the peak of their competition meet dead center of the middle of the ring? We find out at SummerSlam, one of the most highly anticipated matches in recent memory. Ilja Dragunov defends the World Heavyweight Championship against AJ Styles. Welcome to SummerSlam.
I have to make a choice. Think down even further. Drowning out my voice. If you're feeling lost, sing this song with me. It will shine a light. I hope that you can stay. Slide away, carry me. Take
What has been a fun night here in the MVP Arena in Albany on the road to SummerSlam. With that road going to make a pit stop in Bridgeport, Connecticut in just 48 hours at Saturday night's main event. One of the headlining affairs this Saturday, the Bloodline Solo Sikoa set to defend his Intercontinental Championship against one of the Bloodline's many adversaries, the Apex Predator, Randy Orton. That contest coming your way courtesy of Monday Night Raw, as is this affair. Carmelo Hayes was yapping his gums this past Monday to the Punishment Damian Priest. Well, Damian Priest is ready for a fight. Melo wants to chop Priest down to size and make a name for himself on Monday. Well, Saturday night's the time to do it. We got a grudge matchup in the women's division of Monday Night Raw as Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton continue to be thorns in the side of SummerSlam opponents, the Queen of the Ring, Lyra Valkyria, and the women's champion, Rhea Ripley. They align on Saturday, looking to settle the score with their rivals. The arrival of the exhilarating luchador, Penta, has taken Monday Night Raw by storm. He's taken down Angel. He's taken down Birdo. Can he complete the hat trick of Legado del Fantasma when he meets Santos Escobar on Saturday night? And this matchup coming your way from SmackDown. Austin Theory defeating Andrade and LA Knight in the triple threat matchup at Money in the Bank to win the United States Championship. The Megastar is coming back for his gold. One-on-one, Austin Theory defends the United States title against LA Knight at Saturday night's main event. And next week on SmackDown, who is going to become the #1 contender for the Women's United States Championship live on the SummerSlam kickoff show, August 24th. We find out in an 8-woman over-the-top rope battle royal. All stars of SmackDown will collide. Kairi Sane awaits the winner for the United States Championship at SummerSlam. But it is main event time for the MVP Arena in Albany. Mr. Money in the Bank, the Judgment Day's Finn Balor, live and in living color. Looking to take care of the young OG.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing the Judgment Day. From Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing in at 190 pounds, Finn Balor!
Well, you'll take notice to the fact that Finn Balor walking down the aisle alone tonight. No Dominic Mysterio, no Liv Morgan, no JD McDonough, and no Carlito. No Judgment Day at all. I have it on good word that the rumor going around the locker room is that Finn Balor feels so confident that he can defeat Javon Evans. He almost jokingly told the Judgment Day, hey, stay behind, relax, put your feet up and watch what I'm about to do to this kid here on SmackDown. The ego of the Judgment Day overflowing, especially ever since Balor took down that contract and feels he holds all the power here on SmackDown. Well, Finn Balor just better not underestimate the young OG, a former Cruiserweight champion, and Javon Evans just pinned Dominic Mysterio 7 nights ago here on SmackDown. Javon Evans has been a thorn in the side of the Judgment Day ever since his arrival here on the Blue brand. One of many Judgment Day rivals in recent months. And I'm sure ultimately the young OG wants to get back in the ring for a third round. One-on-one with Dominic Mysterio for the Cruiserweight Championship. But tonight he must focus on the task at hand. It's a tall task in Mr. Money in the Bank and Finn Balor.
And his opponent from Greensboro, North Carolina, weighing in at 170 pounds, Javon.
We got to talk about the rise of Javon Evans in recent months. Showing up here on the first SmackDown of the season, defeating Dominic Mysterio for the Cruiserweight Championship at the beginning of July. And yes, Javon did fall as clean as can be. You got to give the devil his due to Dominic Mysterio in that 2 out of 3 falls matchup on the Money in the Bank kickoff show. But look at Javon Evans here, continuing to thrive, continuing to be in the spotlight. Back-to-back main events here on SmackDown, one-on-one against one of SmackDown's top stars in Finn Balor tonight. And look at Evans, holding no punches, hot out of the gate against the Prince. Evans looking to score the upset. That could have been a knockout blow on Finn Balor. Not just yet. It was last week here on SmackDown. After Balor and AJ Styles came to blows at the top of the program, Finn Balor would align with Judgment Day brother and Dominic Mysterio to take on Javon Evans, as well as the King of the Ring, AJ Styles. Hold that thought for a moment, because Javon Evans is absolutely tagging up Finn Balor in the corner, not giving Balor any room to breathe here in Albany. Look at Javon out of the corner with the drop kicks, gonna level Finn. Evans has come out guns a-blazing since the opening bell. I told you, Finn Balor better not underestimate the young OG, or Evans gonna make him live to regret it. Well, nonetheless, it was last Thursday night in that tag team bout. AJ and Javon, that's a dream team of its own. The past and the present meet in the future. Javon Evans with that OG cutter, pitting the shoulders of the Cruiserweight champion Dominic Mysterio for the victory. I think it's no doubt that Evans should find himself back in line to challenge Mysterio again. Well, what a victory, whether it regards Javon Evans' future Cruiserweight Championship opportunity and desires or not. What a victory this could be for Evans as he is able to outlast Finn Balor tonight on SmackDown. Obviously, that'll be easier said than done. Finn Balor has only continued to blossom. It's been the best he has been, like him or not, in years, ever since arriving here on SmackDown and really taking a leadership role, recreating the foundation of the Judgment Day in recent months. Evans don't give a damn about what Finn Balor wants and the power he holds. He has given Balor a fight here on SmackDown. Evans has been in the ring with Dirty Dom, JD McDonough as well, but this is the first time he's going one-on-one with Mr. Money in the Bank in Finn Balor. Balor and the Judgment Day entirely with a lot of momentum surrounding them right now. Talk about a way to chop him down to size if Evans can score the victory tonight. Great maneuver out of the corner by the former Cruiserweight champion. Evans now off the middle rope. He is just continuing to keep his foot on the gas pedal. Now he's going up top. Look at the hang time off the frog splash. Evans gonna score the upset. Not just yet. Nearly had him. Nearly had him. What a maneuver. What a sequence of maneuvers by Javon Evans. Finn Balor again telling the rest of the Judgment Day, hey, stay behind. I got this. I'm going to make this entertaining for you guys to watch. Well, I'm sure the Judgment Day might be sweating a little bit back in their clubhouse here in the MVP arena. Finn Balor might just be getting ticked off, might be having enough of Javon Evans' fun and games here. Balor needs to do what Dominic Mysterio has found out, what many of superstars are starting to realize. That's the only way to beat Javon Evans, is to try to ground him. You let him wrestle, his style of matchup. You let him get going and start bouncing around this ring. It's going to be a long night for Javon Evans' opposition. Balor now from behind, keeping it simple and effective. Swing blade into the drop kick, signature combination out of the arsenal of the head of the Judgment Day. Javon Evans looking up at the lights momentarily here in the MVP arena as Finn Balor is all over Evans. Javon Evans just one of many Judgment Day adversaries in recent months. And look at Javon going for a ride. Brain buster. Evans would have had his eggs scrambled. And Javon able to survive. Evans able to kick out, but at what cost? Damage has got to be done to the young OG. As we were saying, Javon Evans is one of many adversaries of the Judgment Day in recent months. AJ Styles has been up there a lot. Ilja Dragunov has had his encounters. Main event Jey Uso, dare I say, still has a bone to pick with Finn. And what about Damian Priest, of course, who crossed enemy lines last week, invaded SmackDown, and went after Finn Balor. Priest threw out the challenge on Monday Night Raw for Finn Balor to meet him at SummerSlam. I think Finn Balor has done his damage to absolutely avoid and act like that challenge doesn't exist. That's a whole nother situation. The Judgment Day's got a lot of situations to figure out, and one of them is Javon Evans, who might have just put the exclamation point on this match. Oh, the Blue Thunder Bomb. Thought it was going to be the last chapter written in the story of this contest. Unfortunately for Javon, Finn Balor able to survive. I'll tell you what, for somebody who's got a list of enemies a mile long, Finn Balor is sitting pretty comfortably on SmackDown right now as Mr. Money in the Bank, but he's not feeling comfortable in the ring with Evans at the given moment, who looks for another pinfall, and Balor kicks out again. Finn Balor may hold the Money in the Bank contract, but that ain't going to do him any good at this given moment. That drop kick, however, to the shin will do him some, as he looks to rally here against Evans on SmackDown. Look at Javon again. Another reversal. I'll tell you what, I think Balor clearly underestimated Javon Evans tonight, to the point where he told the Judgment Day, who are never too far behind, to stay behind tonight. I think Balor may be in over his head. Split-legged moonsault by the young OG. This could be one of the biggest wins of Javon Evans' young career. Up there with winning the Cruiserweight Championship. Finn Balor has got no answer at the given moment as Javon maneuver after maneuver, stacking up the offense. This is what he's got to do. But another kick out by Finn. And Javon just letting loose. You gotta give the credit to the young OG. Finn Balor, however, the veteran resilience, able to survive the onslaught from the kid. And now another reversal here as he sends Javon Evans right to the post. Now Balor full head of steam. Oh my goodness! That was like a mini coup de grace out of the corner. And now Evans in the drop zone. Balor going for said coup de grace. The grand finale right to the young OG. This one's over.
Here is your winner, Finn Balor.
I'll tell you what, nothing to be ashamed of in defeat. Javon Evans with an incredible showing tonight against Finn Balor, the head of the Judgment Day, the veteran, the young OG. Oh, wait a minute, hold on here. Oh, Finn Balor, the damn match is over. Balor's continuing to attack Javon Evans on the outside. You know, Finn Balor's got some nerve. Blow it off Javon Evans, thinking this was going to be oh so easy tonight. Javon pushed him to his limit, and I don't want to hear anybody say otherwise, because that's exactly what happened. I bet Finn Balor's feel a little bit embarrassed about how this matchup progressed and how much it took out of him to get the victory, and now he's added insult to injury to Javon Evans. Not that we should be surprised. This is Finn Balor of the Judgment Day that we're talking about. Wait a minute here. Main event, Jey Uso on the scene. Jey Uso still with unfinished business with Finn Balor. These two men cross paths in the Money in the Bank ladder matchup back in Montreal. It had to be heartbreaking for Jey to watch Finn Balor take down the contract. Jey now soaring over the top, Uso crazy style. Ooh. Jey Uso coming to the aid of Javon Evans, who has been helped to the backstage area, but Finn Balor now trying to fight back. We told you earlier on that Finn Balor's list of enemies, the Judgment Day's list of enemies, a mile long. Javon Evans on that list, Jey Uso on it as well. Oh, look at Finn Balor, second week in a row. This guy's running away from a fight. Has no problem picking fights. God forbid he finish them. So smug, so arrogant. He got that contract and he's only been even more egotistical the last 2 weeks. And wait a minute, get the cameras back at the top. Get the cameras back at the top. Finn Balor just turned around to get dropped by Damian Priest. Raw superstar Damian Priest is once again showing face here on SmackDown. Oh man, oh, Balor goes down with a razor's edge. Damian Priest ain't gonna let Finn Balor ignore his SummerSlam challenge. Priest wants retribution. He wants his pound of flesh, and he's hell-bent on getting it at August 24th at SummerSlam.
Sing this song with me, it will shine a light. I hope that you can say away, carry me, take me home to tranquil seas.